Hello Internet, I'm your Captain Coder and I'm gonna take you through an amazing journey. Episodes of quarantine coding, and we're gonna sail through different programming problems and fight with several monstrous errors. Coding is this amazing world of creativity and imagination. So come aboard sailor, we have got plenty of coding to do. Since it is day one, I'm gonna teach you the basic concepts of coding like what's a programming language, why are we coding, and I'm going to give you a simple example of a simple piece of code. What is a programming language? A programming language is a simple language which is understandable only by computer and machines. We as a human possess our own set of sensory organs to communicate. Humans communicate through the medium of sound. Similarly, machines communicate through the medium of signals. These signals are like words and programming language is like an sentence. Computer is like a small baby which has its own unique language for communication. Now this baby can understand only single lines of commands. These commands are given with the help of programming languages. A programming language is of three types: high-level language, assembly-level language, and machine-level language. Now, this machine-level language is the binary numbers, zeros and ones. And this is what a computer interprets when it receives a programming language. A computer sees only binary numbers. Similarly, a high-level language is one which is interpretable by human eyes and is also capable of human understanding. C is an high-level language which is developed by Dennis Ritchie at AT&T Bell Laboratories. What we give as an high-level language is converted into machine language by the compiler and it is fed to the machine. Now let me explain this with the help of a simple program. Here's a simple hello-world program written in C language which purpose is to display the text hello world. The first line is the header file line hash include stdio.h. Now what we are doing is we are adding a folder which contains the list of functions we are gonna use in this program. This stdio.h file contains the printf function we are gonna use in this program. The way this works is simply like a class registry which contains the list of students' name in a class. If you want to know the number of students present in a class, you need to have the registry in your hand. Similarly, the printf function and the scanf function are contained within the stdio.h file. The main function is like the class representative or leader. Whenever a program is started, the program will look for the main function and the contents of the main function will start executing one by one. Now we have the register stdio.h in our hand and the next thing is the main function. Here we are gonna use void main which returns null data type value. Now our programming part starts here. What are we gonna do is print the line hello world. So here's the printf function and we are gonna give the text we need to print in double quotations. And that's it, you have learned your first program. Now let's execute it. Okay, now come let's see our first hello world program. Now I'm gonna use an IDE called Turbo C++ to type my code. A IDE, what is an IDE? A IDE is a tool shop or a workshop where you have several features like compiler, linker, loader embedded into one place. To put it simple, it's like an workshop or a tool shop where you have several tools placed in that room to create what you need. Similarly, this is IDE is called Ideal Developer Environment. This environment contains all tools necessary for running your code. Now let's type our first code. Here we are already have in code. We will create a new file. Now let's type our first preprocessor file line into stdio.h. This line is like an index file where it contains the function printf function. Now let's type our second line, void main. I'm using void main because it returns null value. Any function should return a value. Okay, and you need to use another function called another preprocessor file, header file, which is include .h console input output.h, because we need to use one more function called get character, which I will explain you in short. Now we are going to type our line printf. Need to include it within the double quotes. Always finish the C program with a semicolon. Okay. Now you need to compile. See, it returns 0 errors and 0 warnings. Now you need to run it. Okay, it's running, but it's not printing it on the terminal because we only called the printf function. When this function is called, it will display it on the terminal and it will leave the screen as soon as it is displayed. Now we need to create a simple call to wait function which will wait until a character or a key is pressed. This is why we use Getch line in any program. Now I'll compile it. And then I'm gonna run it. See, you got hello world. Now you see the first hello world has already been printed and it has existed without showing the terminal to us. Now you can see the second hello world which printed after, and it's waiting for a key to be pressed, and I'm pressing a key. See, it went out.